NBA Draft 2026. How we doing, Big Game James?
You know, draft is always an interesting time of the year. Long time ago in 1982, I remember. And each year I've watched it, it's just gotten, so inspirational to see these young kids, dream coming true and their families. It's nice day. Big day. It's like the first one is getting your college scholarship, and then you surpass that, and boy, you get the chance to live your dream.
Which very few do.
It's amazing.
First day of the Lakers offseason. I always view the draft as that day, and they had their first round pick. It's not every year they can say that lately, and they had it, traded up a spot. And Geet, I know you got the rest for us.
All right, guys, let's meet the newest member of the Los Angeles Lakers. They did hold the 25th pick in the draft tonight. They made a swap with the champs, the New York Knicks, to get to number 24, and they selected Cameron Carr, a 21-year-old guard out of Baylor. He was third team all Big 12 this year. Started his career at Tennessee, transferred to Baylor, had a great showing at the NBA Combine, scoring 30 points on 6 of 12 from 3. Here's Allie Clifton at the Lakers facility.
All right, thanks so much, Geeter. Obviously, it's always a great day being here at the Lakers practice facility. In fact, the last time I was here, it was the day after the Lakers had lost in the Western Conference semifinals to the Oklahoma City Thunder. JJ Redick, of course, Rob Pelinka addressing the media as they always do come season end. And it was then that they discussed many things of which this roster could get better with moving forward. They felt that the roster currently had components of depth and youth and athleticism, but they weren't satisfied. They wanted to add to it. So skip ahead to tonight's draft, the 2026 NBA draft. They had the 25th pick. They were able to move up to the 24th pick. And with that, they took the selection of 6'5" guard out of Baylor, Cameron Carr. Of course, as you guys have already addressed, his resume looking as such. Cameron averaging about 19 points a game, shooting 49% from the field, 37% from deep, of course, but also known for that wingspan, about 7 foot, and then also being a pesky elite defensive player. And so when you think about this Lakers roster and moving forward, wanting to get better in a variety of areas, he is someone that could certainly address that where they see fit. But I think at the end of the day, a reminder also during that end of season press conference that Rob Pelinka gave to the media, this is a franchise that will always continue to pride themselves on putting together a roster that can compete with any NBA team they put out on the floor. Obviously tonight with the NBA draft, it is the first step in bringing that goal to fruition.
All right, thank you so much, Allie. And listen, the Lakers heading into this offseason, prioritizing shooting, size, athleticism. Check the box there when you talk about shooting and athleticism. Just to add to what Allie was saying, a 37-inch standing vertical, a 42.5 vertical jump, the 7'1" wingspan she had mentioned. Tim Legler and Jay Billis on set at ESPN during the draft were surprised that he was there. He was slated anywhere from going to 11 to 19. So most kind of had the Lakers taking a big, but sometimes, James, you got to take the best player on the board, and that was him.
It was him. We took another player that everyone thought should have gone higher when we took Dalton.
Right.
Remember? And we think about Luka Doncic and trying to build the gaps, and I think he's a young player that has possibility.
Yeah, James, you know a lot of what I like about him. Here's the deal. When you're entering the draft, you're thinking about where you're going to go. You have to go to the scouting combine. 73 players went there this year. You get measurements. The first part is you're getting measurements.
Was going to be bulking up with his skinny frame, big game.
Yeah.
It reminded me a little bit of when the Lakers drafted Max Christie, and we sat on this set and talked to Max. We were so impressed when we had him that night, and talked about his shooting and his athleticism, and he's a good jumper. And then it was about getting in the weight room, and then you saw what he became a couple years later. So with this, James, what kind of work does he have ahead of him this summer?
Well, he's got to, find out what his role is. I mean, I think younger players have no problem committing to the philosophy of the team they're going to, but then finding your role and all the things you have to do to solidify that role. Like you just said, Geeter, I don't think it's an issue of guys getting in the weight room and getting stronger. They adapt to what the team is doing, but he'll have to work on, his game. I think his ball handling, is something that's a little suspect as well. His defense is good, but without the strength to back it up, he'll have to get struggled because he'll be up against some tough competitors with his size and who he'll be asked to guard, the duties he'll have.
And Brez, when you look at one of the strengths, something that jumped out to me was elite 3-and-D potential.
Potential.
Yeah. Right? So what he can become.
Yeah, that's
exciting.
We saw glimpses of it late in the season. Again, Baylor did not make the NCAA tournament. A late season game against Arizona, he had 26 points against the number 2 team in the country. So that was a pretty big eye opener. Like, oh, okay. And it's an unusual career for him. He did play 3 years in college. His first 2 at Tennessee, he was barely used. His sophomore year at Tennessee, James, he played 4 games. He said, all right, I'm out here. This Tennessee thing is not working for me. And he ended up at Baylor, hit the ground running right away, scored 26 or 28 in his first game ever. It was against a D2 team. Can't put too much stock in that, but he had a really, really nice season, averaging almost 19 a game. And, sometimes when you transfer, like we did see with Dalton Connect, he transferred into Tennessee. Obviously, Cameron transferred out of Tennessee, and it worked out very well for him, despite Baylor not having a great team season.
Big game. His father, Chris, played in the NBA for 6 seasons. How can that translate to his son, just in terms of like that upbringing? He knows how to navigate the league with the help of his father. I mean, it helps, right?
Yeah,
Could be an advantage for him.
It does help when you have that kind of experience. I mean, you look at it's a different kind of situation with Bron and Bronny, but think of all the information and data that LeBron passes down. That's just like any other son, Dale Curry to Steph and Seth Curry. It's the same thing. So when you're in that environment, you're a little less nervous about it because you've been around it. So that's one advantage he'll have. He has a father that he can lean on.
Yeah, his dad was actually second in the dunk contest, which we're going to ask him about, Brett, when he joins us, right?
Yeah, when Kobe won it, right? And everyone's talking about the Boozer family connection, but yeah, the Chris Carr and the Cameron Carr connection. There's a young Chris Carr, played 6 seasons in the NBA, almost 300 games, bounced around a little bit, also played overseas too. But James, just having that, if you're Cameron Carr, just having that in the background, that your dad did play in the NBA all those years and all those games, I mean, that's kind of cool. You can always call him and rely on him and ask about this or that. That's going to make a player his age more mature than the average player in the draft.
I had no idea. I mean, I was just, following my teammates, Cooper and some of those guys, what they did. But just like how to travel.
Yeah.
It's just little things, how to rest. How to prepare. He'll have that from his dad. He won't have to. I mean, it's easy to learn that when you join a team, but when you have a uncle or father, somebody who's been there, it gives you a little.
And I assume he's grown up hearing the stories.
Yeah.
And kind of learning the ways, right? So kind of cool. All right, from the Lakers to the top 5, look at what they did in 2025 with the Duthero, Dalton Connect, Bronny James, Jalen Hood, Shafino. Brez, obviously we're not, haven't heard from anybody yet, but Lakers have to be excited about this pick.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And we're just kind of waiting for the trade to be formalized. The Lakers did move up a spot, cash considerations.